different when you play in away games. First they're booing and then they're like amazed.
I think we've used every noun, adjective to describe his game. And he just gets better when the stage is big, and he delivered again. It must be the gumbo.
It must be the gumbo. All right, Luka is leading the league in scoring this month with over 36 points per game. He's also averaging over 10 rebounds and 9 assists in that span. So his good play is leading the Mavs to wins. They're 6-2 in the month of February. All right, so it's safe to say that Luka's in the zone right now. But my question to the panel, starting with you, Richard, is that trade of Kristaps Porzingis, did that unlock Luka's full potential? And if so, why?
No, I don't think it unlocked him. Kristaps wasn't even playing. I don't think that had an impact. He was in and out of the lineup, but that's not a knock. Like when a guy gets injured, your team is forced to adjust around. But he had plenty of games without him on that roster. I think Luka, in my opinion, is finally in the type of shape that he needs to be in. Coming off the Olympics, everybody was saying all the conversation. He admitted that, and look, as young players, as a 22-year-old, it might take time to understand your body and how you need to train. Right now, even the game that we did a couple of weeks ago, he had 2 dunks. He's going at people, and now he's in February, and he's starting to lock in and look like the Luka that we expect.
That was the game where the rim broke, right?
Yes.
Luka did that as well.
Oh, yeah. And he shouted out my TikTok. So me and Luka are good.
Let's not talk about your TikTok.
I am locked in.
But
on
I
Luka.
do think that, the trade actually was interesting because he, since that point, the 4 games since then, has had the highest usage in the NBA because they know he's the #1 option. And so I look at this, his play. I mean, what was it? 41, 51, 45, 21, 49. Look, it's the same thing. It's the same argument with Joel Embiid. When you know you're the #1 option, your whole team can adjust around you. I think people know that in Philly. People know that in Dallas. So, yeah, this is the Luka that we have all been waiting for. And we know, as older players, it takes you a couple games to play into your shape. It just took Luka a little bit longer.
Right.
But Doug, go ahead, Woj.
This team has moved into 5th in the West because of what they've done defensively over the last month plus. Luka got in shape, and now he's not a great defender, but he does know their schemes. Like, that's progress there, and he can get deflections, his hands. But what they've done defensively, especially, you talk to people in Dallas and teams who are playing against them, is, they don't let teams isolate their worst defenders. Their team defense has been really good, and that's what's elevated this team. Sure. And listen, I think Luka Doncic, since the day he's got there, everybody knows he's the guy there. And this is a team that I think Zach Lowe in the preseason kept talking about. This is the team that maybe could make a run in the West. And I wasn't so sure that, but you look at the way they have defended. It's a little bit like in Chicago when they made all those deals and you go, we know we'll be able to score the ball. Yep. We're not so sure how we'll be defensively. Chicago's been elite, and Dallas is becoming elite defensively.
Well, real quick, me and Sinead just looked at the standings. Dallas and Philly have the exact same record. They have the same amount of wins. So before we start crowning Joel Embiid MVP because he's been putting up these historic numbers, we've just seen what Luka is doing. 40 and 15, done it twice this month. Like, he is playing at another level. If he continues playing like this, before we start saying, oh, Philly's #1, look, they got the same record. So if they're both dominating the same way, I think maybe this race can get a little bit closer than people think.
Nobody even arguing that. But here's the thing, bro. You so far off your game today for the simple fact that the world knew that Porzingis and Luka didn't get along.
I knew that.
Okay. So you knew that.
Okay.
You knew that. You and J. Kidd are tight. Everybody know that, right? And so for you to come up here and say that didn't have an effect on the way that he's playing right now, dropping 49 last night. You know what?
He was historically out of shape to start the season, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, finish your BS.
Homie. Can I finish? First thing first is that he's playing with such joy. It's a different type of joy now that he's removed from the locker room. I could take you to another example. When you look at the Celtics, they remove Dennis Schroeder. It's a certain type of joy that Daniel Tice brought to the locker room. You've been on multiple teams. You know how I feel when they have a guy.
Did they remove you from this locker room?
For what? For what? I mean,
so his conditioning has nothing to do.
I didn't say it.
But what I'm saying, address the part that I'm saying.
Okay, that's cool. But for you to act like that,
I think it's both. I think it's both, right? He knows that this is his squad. He doesn't have to deal with whatever the issues might have been, and then also he improved, with his conditioning.
Bro,
But like,
I'm gonna let Richard sit over here.
If it was gumbo,
I'm gonna let Richard sit over here, combing his eyebrows with his fingers and think about this, because still ahead on NBA Today. What a season we've had so far. We've had ridiculous buzzer beaters. We've had poster dunks. We've had absurd passes. Top plays of this season so far when we return on NBA Today live from Cleveland. Fred VanVleet is averaging a career high in points, rebounds, assists, and three-pointers made this season. He's also leading the league in minutes at more than 38 per game. Woo, baby. All right, joined now by first-time All-Star and just the fourth undrafted player in the modern era to ever be selected as an All-Star. Fred VanVleet. Thank you so much for coming on NBA Today. Absolutely. All right, whether maybe it's your children or whether it's your teammates or whether maybe it's people who are coming up, playing the game, watching you be selected as an all-star, as an undrafted player, what do you hope that shows those folks?
Just to believe in yourself. Just to believe in yourself. Put the work in. You know, it can happen. It's definitely a lot harder, you know, to take that path that I've had to take. You know, different challenges and things like that, but it's possible. So don't let anybody else define who you want to be.
Well, sometimes the path of most resistance is also the path that's most rewarding. But you said recently that while you and Kyle Lowry were super close, you weren't sure you could fully unlock all of your potential when you guys were on the floor together as teammates. What has happened since he has left?
Just more opportunity. You know, Kyle is such a dominant guy and just a dominant force, and you know, one of the best point guards in the NBA for a long time now. So with him leaving, has left a lot of responsibility, a lot of opportunity, and I just try to step up and improve each year, and I've been able to do that so far.
Well, and you certainly have stepped into those shoes, Janae.
And this stat was so nice. We have to say it twice. You lead the league in minutes per game right now, around 38 minutes a game. And I know some of your starters on your squad in Toronto also are in that category. How has that impacted you and your game in this resurgence so far this season?
It just allows you to be on the floor more, so it's a different approach to the game. You know, knowing your rotations, knowing when you're coming in and out. Definitely a lot more workload, and on a nightly basis having to do a lot to perform for the team. But that's the situation we're in this year, and I think the ones that are playing, we're just embracing the challenge.
Well, Fred, hey, look, congratulations, man. I'm telling you, your story is inspiring. I love it. I have two sons play AAU basketball, and I always tell them it's about the marathon and not the sprint. So congratulations to you and making a, you know, a great example to the youth. But I want to ask you this about your rookie, Scotty Barnes. What do you think his ceiling is, his potential, and how is he in the locker room for us gravitating towards you being the leader and things to that nature?
Yeah. He doesn't really have a ceiling, to be honest with you. Like because you got to think he could start on your center. He could start at center for us one night, and then he could start at point guard for us the next night. He's guarding fives. He's bringing the ball up. He's initiating offense. He's knocking down threes. He can do it all, and he just got a great spirit for the game, a great energy. He's got a star personality. So I'm excited to see, you know, how he pans out.
Absolutely.
So my question is more, I want you to talk to the young fellas in this league, and you know, you're getting to that veteran status now. It happens quick though, doesn't it?
True,
but
man.
Listen, because your story is so great, for you to be, you know, to win a G League championship, then go up and win a championship, and now you're one of the few, you know, non-drafted players to ever make an All-Star game. What is it that still wakes you up and motivates you every single day, knowing what you've already accomplished in your early part of your career?
I just want to be great. I never set out, you know, with super like goals in this. I just wanted to be great, and I always want to continue to get better. So there was no checkpoint that I reached that I was like, oh, I'm done. So when I made it to the league, I wanted to do more. When I won a championship, I want to win another one. And I'm an all-star. I want to not be a one-time all-star. Mm-hmm. So it's like just finding that ambition and not being satisfied with what you got, because we do live a good life and things are good, and you know, we're spoiled and pampered, but it's always more out there, and you know, I just try to stay hungry.
Before we let you go, you said a championship. You want to win another one. This Raptors team lately, you guys have been turning some heads. I know you went on Draymond Green's podcast and talked about the last time you won a championship. You talked about the shot. You talked about feeling like you guys were the better team in the finals. So I know you have honest assessments of yourself and your team. As you're looking around this season, what are you seeing as your guys' potential here?
I think we just got to get in. We just got to get in, and then, you know, anything can happen there, especially how the league is now. It's 3, 4, maybe 5 teams that'll be sad if they don't win a championship, and everybody else is on the outside looking in. So we get in, you an ankle sprain away or a COVID test away from winning a couple games now, and anything can happen.
That's real.
Absolutely.
There's not too many juggernauts in the NBA anymore, and I feel like if we get in with a good position, we could do some damage.
Well, and then it's going to be you that's going to hit the shot that's going to bounce around the rim this year, right?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Fred VanVleet.